It's sad. Hey, it's BrickTsar and it's train month, and I got a train that a lot of you may not have ever seen. And it's either the worst Lego train ever made, or it's the closest to the right thing they've ever done. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of that train from The Little Engine That Could. It's pretty bad looking, but it's significant. And actually, this isn't necessarily a train set. This is Lego Set 140, the Bricks and Motor set. It highlights a lot of different builds that you can do using the old style blue motor, which is hidden in the build right here. That's pretty much the motor, and the blue battery pack. And the main model that's predominant on the instructions is actually an old-timey looking car, but there's also this train locomotive that I wanted to build. So for train month, that is what I'm featuring. This set came out in 1969. It only had 103 pieces, and it had about 4, I think, different builds in the instruction manual. We'll show you that. Yeah, there's at least 4 different builds in the instruction manual. But let's talk about this as a train for now. I hope I can do this without breaking them. So the plus goes this way. Sometimes these C batteries are too big for the case. Okay, good. I think we're good there. Put the lid on. The lid. Oh, come on. All right. So remember, this is 50 years old. 1969 is when they came up with this idea. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you what my favorite thing about this train is. And it may seem unappealing to a lot of you. It may be like, well, so what? What's the big deal? This train is probably the first and one of the few, if not only, Lego trains that is 8 wide. It's 8 wide. That's what I like about it. It's 8 studs wide, just like the trains that Brick Model Railroad or the customs that they design. They're 8 wide. They look better. Of course, this one's 8 wide and doesn't look better, but I think it's cool that they made it 8 wide. All right, and so they were limited by the types of wheels that they had. Although I guess technically they could have used train wheels in this. They chose not to because you actually can put tires on these wheels and then build some of the other vehicles. So basically, it's a blue locomotive with this red stripe here, a little bit of yellow. You got your smokestack, your whatever that is, your little cab area. You got your area where you can load in the coal. I guess this is like a tank engine. Maybe this is where the coal goes. And then the engineer and the fireman stand there. You got 3 little wheels here and 1 big wheel. It's kind of like Emily from Thomas and Friends with the 1 big wheel. But watch this. So the motor, the wire goes through in here, and it's connected to some little things on top of the motor. They're kind of like this type of connector here. But watch this. It works. With no tires, it still rolls. Isn't that amazing? Actually, it's not amazing. So I know what you're asking. Does it fit on Lego train track? Well, it kind of does. I think that it's too rigid to make it around the curves, but we're going to actually try it out. And I've never actually tried it. So this is actually the first attempt of me trying to make this thing go around the track. I'm pretty sure it's not going to work. Okay, let's see what happens. Yeah, it's too rigid. Oh. It'd have to have a radius, a different radius. Now, if it was just straight, I'm pretty sure it would go for a while. But it can't go around a curve the way it's designed. So we can go back and forth on this straight section. No problem. And if I had a... Oh, well, maybe not. Oh, I think I got a little bit too much on the curve. It's sad. But yeah, you can go on straight track. All right. Whoa, whoa. Okay. So in a previous video, when I did the haul, I was going to piece this set together because it only had 103 pieces. It's all basic pieces. Nothing that I saw was rare. So you could anybody could easily piece this together from vintage pieces. Probably the most rare things would be the motors, the tires, and the windows. So I got some other junk still in the box. I haven't gone through and officially checked the inventory to make sure it was right. These are some of the pieces I had left over from mine. Basically, the battery box went there, the motor went there, and then it shows you here on the inside flap the other things that you can build. I did have all the pieces I needed to build this per the instruction model. And I'm going to turn this around, and it shows you other builds. Not all of these are in the instruction manual. The dragon looks pretty neat. You got a windmill and an amusement park, which is, I think that's what that is supposed to be, some type of amusement park. But now let's show you the instruction manual. All right, here is the instruction manual that says 4 do's on there. Somebody wrote on there. All right, so the first model is the car, the old-timey car. And these are such, just think about how basic it is and how many steps. It's only 1, 2, 3, 4, well, I could look at that, 7 steps, and you built the car. So you got to kind of follow closely. They'll do like multiple layers in one step. All right, so you got that, and then here is the horses. I don't know what this is supposed to be. Oh, it's a guy riding a horse. That's what it is. And then here's how I built the train using this. Now there was the inventory on Bricklink showed certain parts, and I could not build it per the inventory because it shows. Oh, you know what? I did build it wrong. Now that I'm looking at it, I thought that was a 4x8, but it's two 2x8s. So I built it wrong. I was like, I need another 4x8. So I went and got another 4x8, but now that I'm looking, that should have been 2x8s. Man, I don't know how I missed that. Wow. So I built it wrong, but that's the only difference. I put a 4x8 there instead of using 2x8s. Let's see. Let's look at the rest of it. Everything else was pretty straightforward. I think it's the most steps is for the locomotive. And then what's this last one? What's it gonna be? This weird tank looking thing. Looks like it should be driving in the snow somewhere. And then of course our kid building the horse. He's really seriously involved in this. So I hope you enjoyed this review or overview of set 140, the bricks and motor set, and the train build from that set. This was long before Lego came out with the minifigure. It was long before Lego came out with the maxi figure. So there are no Lego people. You had to build your people much like you had to do with that set, the part where you had the horse and the rider on the horse. But it shows you what you can do with some basic bricks. They had a limited color palette. They had limited number of pieces. Actually, this set stinks. What am I talking about? Anyway, I had fun showing you this set. I hope you enjoyed this overview of it. And I'll see you in the next video. It's Train Month. Subscribe to BrickTsar.